Do you know the name of the writer who said after the 1857 rebellion in India, "I wish I were commander in chief in India. The first thing I would do to strike that Oriental race should be to proclaim to them in their language that I should do my utmost to exterminate the race upon whom the stain of the late cruelties rested, to blot it out of mankind and raise it off the face of the earth." You'll be surprised to know it was Charles Dickens who said it, a novelist known for his liberal attitude towards the downtrodden and poor in his own country, Great Britain. Dickens also lauded the mutilation of the wretched Hindu, whose bodies were blown to bits by the British cannons for participating in the War of 1857. Dickens' public liberal image, champion of social reform. Charles Dickens was hailed as a liberal novelist who exposed social injustice. In his public persona, he stressed compassion. He advocated for the poor and downtrodden through novels and public actions. His works and speeches promoted reform and moral responsibility. Charles Dickens, a liberal author or a racist at heart? In the aftermath of the 1857 rebellion, we see a binary between Charles Dickens' public advocacy for the poor of his country and his documented violent racist language about people in India, a British colony at that time. Principle of equality. What is good for the goose is good for the gander is an idiom in English, which means that if a rule, situation, or treatment is fair for one type of person, it should be equally fair for another type. So Dickens doesn't seem to be following the above-mentioned principle of equality between races, or that what is acceptable for one should apply to others in comparable circumstances. Rather, it shows the author's double standards or hypocrisy.
1857 violence, a turning point in British-Indian relations. Dickens' attitude might have been shaped by the reports of cruelties committed against the British people in India, including women and children. Perhaps his deprecating attitude towards India of that time could be attributed more to the fact that his son Walter Lander Dickens was serving as a lieutenant in the British Army stationed in India. Walter had enlisted at the age of 16 and joined the British Army. A father's farewell. As a father, the novelist had seen his soldier son off at Southampton, from where Walter had sailed for India. Charles Dickens, the novelist, would never ever see his soldier son again, not even his dead body. Walter Dickens saw active deployment during the turbulent colonial period of 1857. However, he did not die in combat with Indian revolutionaries. He died in 1863 due to illness. 1857, a major turning point in British-Indian relations. Walter Lander Dickens is buried in India. His body lies in the Bhawanipur cemetery, military cemetery in Kolkata, but his tombstone was moved to the South Park Street Cemetery for better preservation, creating a situation where his actual grave is unmarked while a memorial stone stands elsewhere in Kolkata. Dickens, an image in contradiction. The humanitarian versus the colonial voice. As a humanitarian, he is a champion of the poor and marginalized. He is a critic of social injustice in England. He is an advocate for prison reform and workers' rights. He is a creator of unforgettable characters facing hardship. However, as a colonial voice, he called for the extermination of the Indian race. He celebrated brutal military reprisals. He used dehumanizing language about Indians. He supported violent suppression of the uprising. How could the same man embody such contradiction in his views? The answer lies in the personal link he had with the 1857 rebellion in India. His son was fighting in that war, and that he was influenced by the coverage of cruelties in the British newspapers.